Game of the year potentially. I mean,
I
considering
don't know.
this, I mean, considering the stakes, considering, I mean,
Oh. I thank God. I was like, what the f are you
I mean,
talking about?
this is a playoff game to play one less playoff game.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Like, no, this is like a legitimate,
Like, this is not a
full-on
playoff game that will end your season, but this is a playoff game that will make your postseason a little bit easier. As
Yes.
in home field advantage, a bye week, shit like that. I feel like it's been a minute. I mean, I feel like it's been a minute since it's been last week of the season
For a division.
for division for the
For
top seed.
For a 14-win division? No.
For the top seed, and
For a 15? No.
We're talking a 14-win team is going to be fifth.
A 14-win team is going to be fifth.
Which I will say this: Amon-Ra St. Brown. The only pushback I'm gonna give on Detroit, because I love seeing Detroit rock out and ball, but Amon-Ra was on his podcast and he was like, "It's not really fair. Like, it should be seeded. Like, yeah, the 4 division winners should make it, but it should be seeded.
That's
like
bullshit. No.
He was saying like it should be, but record.
It should be all record based now.
As in, so that Detroit, even if they lose,
the divisions wouldn't matter.
And it's like, well, no, because you get in. He's saying you get in automatically if you win the division.
If you win the division,
but it doesn't mean you get a top 4 spot. It doesn't mean you get a home playoff game.
All right. Well, wait till they win their division and catch a 7 spot.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't
no. His attitude's gonna change if they're 9-7 winning the division.
But Detroit
and now
can't,
they're the 7 seed.
Detroit can't start even try to sprinkle in any type of excuse.
About what?
I mean, they've been on this absolute run. It's like, what? Y'all didn't make it to the Super Bowl because y'all had to play on the road week 1?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, we're not doing this. We're not playing this game where where Detroit all of a sudden shits the bed because they have to go play a couple road games.
Well, I mean, they can still win this game.
They can. But I'm just saying, just the fact that he's even talking like that.
No, I think Detroit feels that it's unfair because of like how stupidly good the Vikings have played all year. We expected the Lions to be in this position.
I wouldn't say it's
shit. Fucking 4 weeks ago, we were like, yeah, the Lions are gonna take the division easy, and then the Vikings just kept winning.
A week ago, I was saying that.
But... Oh no, okay, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like, I mean, if I'm a Detroit fan, it's like, it's kind of like Baltimore. It's like I'd rather have comp in my division than just walk through.
No, they have comp now.
You can talk. I mean, no, they have.
But comp. I mean, imagine like Lamar's MVP season when y'all were 14-2. Imagine like competing with the Steelers that were also, was that their 11-win season? 11 straight.
Win your division.
Yeah, no, for real. Win your division.
Win your division, and you really can't complain. It's kind of like, oh, they're planting their flag at our 50-yard line. I mean, win the game.
Agreed. Like Amon-Ra can't come out and be like, yo, change the playoffs so that we can be the 2 seed. It's like, no, shut the fuck up.
But with that out the way, the question is who's winning, because we have spent the last 18 weeks saying, all right, well, Sam Darnold is going to, like, drop off at some point.
Yeah. The Vikings are going to fucking...
Now, is Justin Jefferson a big part of it? I believe so.
Of course.
But there's more to it.
But, I mean, Brock Purdy was allowed to get hyped up a little bit.
He was, but you also have
the whole time we're like, yeah, no one's throwing the ball to Justin. Justin's just catching balls from the ceiling.
You have a somewhat revamped Aaron Jones. You have other weapons on the offense. You have a stellar defense.
A good defense. Yeah.
Now, looking back on it, making Brock Purdy go, you guys are fucking scary, might not have been the best, like, not the best, but like the biggest flex, like scaring Brock Purdy. Remember when Brock Purdy, after the game, was like, y'all got some fucking schemes. Like,
sure.
This was like week 3 or 4. Like,
a long time ago. Like when when they first started blowing
when
the
it was
doors
like,
off of teams,
yo,
and we're like, all right, yeah, wait till fucking week 9 when they start losing every fucking game.
and then
Never
when
happened.
week 9 hit, it was like
And when
every
week 9
week.
hit, they were playing the Lions and almost beat the Lions.
But it was still like, all right, well, Sam, it's like he made Carolina look good. Like there were conversations still
For
being
4
had
weeks.
where who knows when he's gonna fall off, if he's gonna fall. It was almost like we've just been anticipating this fall off.
Well, and
It
I
hasn't
think with
occurred.
Sam that it's like he's played so much underwhelming football his career in his career that like he needs this year. Now, if he plays well in the playoffs, but he's gonna need a good performance next year for us to be like, all right, pay him. This is a guy. We need him out there. But I mean, his starting job isn't even guaranteed. They got JJ. Now, I wouldn't switch to JJ at this point, but JJ's a rookie quarterback who was supposed to start the season.
So, like percentage wise, right now, how secure is Sam Darnold's spot?
I don't know.
Ballpark, give me a number, because you're making me think it's lower than what I would say.
Right now, like without the playoffs happening yet,
I'm saying right now, today, if Minnesota had to make their mind up on if they were going to extend Sam Darnold and keep him as their future for now at quarterback, his job security. If he
like
went
60,
down, if he went 60,
70 maybe.
there's enough that could go wrong this season
I'm not even saying that anything has to go wrong. I'm just saying that Sam was not meant to start this season. They drafted a guy to start the season.
But Minnesota already came out and said, like, we want Sam to return. So they really, I'm saying, if they're gonna stand on those words and say, look, we haven't even won a division yet, we haven't seen him in the playoffs yet, we don't know what's gonna happen, and they're saying we want to bring him back.
Well, then it's 100%. Nothing can go wrong from here.
Well, what I'm saying is it might not be 100 because it's like he could absolutely just
Now,
go. What's that?
he'll start the season next year. I'm assuming if healthy, but I think his leash.
See, but starting the season off, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we're watching you.
His leash is going to be a little bit tighter than Kirk's.
That's not 100% guaranteed.
He has like a Justin Fields type of leash next year, I think.
So I would say
which
it's
is
more,
like
90% secured.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I think this will prove a lot because you're basically asking that. I mean, it's still not as important as a playoff game, but it's damn near as important.
No, it's basically the first playoff game.
If you ask me right now, it's just no matter how good the Vikings have continued to be, if just season on the line, first seed on the line, there's no way Detroit's losing this. It's in Detroit.
It's in Detroit.
Come on, bro. Unless that Detroit team last week showed up. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Because I do want to hope that with how great they've been this season, the little bit of I don't know, shakiness they gave us last week, Dan Campbell was like, hey, we about to get into the playoffs. We got to, I believe he made a comment like, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed that aren't like talent related or aren't. He was like, there's a lot of mistakes that need to be cleaned up that aren't like skill based or something.
Sure, yeah.
He said something along the lines of
mental
that.
errors, yeah. Sure.
Which it's like, yeah, if that Detroit team last week don't show up, I don't see them losing.
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Don't write it down yet.
No, I'm writing mine down. Detroit.
Okay.
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm torn because again, like everyone said, we expected them to fuck up the Vikings. That is, we didn't expect them to play well against Detroit in that first game. They played very well, almost won that game. I don't know. I have this poor feeling that Dan Campbell is going to be the reason that they lose. Dan Campbell's going to do something stupid and too aggressive. But I'm going to take Detroit. But this game can easily be a real flip. And I mean, Detroit's defense has to lock the fuck in. I mean, I know Kirby had 2 picks last week, but they've shown signs of letting some things happen.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
see.
All right. We'll see.